Hi everyone, how are you? So it's been a long time since I have done a live on here, and I just sketched out this drawing that I'm going to color in. It's of Prince Harry with his friend and or co-conspirator, you could say, Christopher Bouzy, leader of his Prince Harry's Sussex Squad group. And I just sketched it. I don't know how well you can see it here. It looks a little light. Prince Harry with, okay, I'm just checking my sound there. Okay, so here we go. Hopefully you can see this. I don't know if you can see the sketch. I just did a pencil sketch of the two of them. So you can see them chatting together there. And I'm basing it on the pictures you see on the lower left-hand side of the screen. And I'm going to be using my Black Widow pencils. And I have all the colors right here. And I'm starting with a rattlesnake color for Prince Harry's hair. And we'll just see how much I can get done in one sitting here. So, all right, bear with me 1 second. Make everything up. So again, I'm just using rattlesnake. Now this picture is an old picture of Harry where it looks like he has a lot more hair than he really does. He's actually bald on top now, but he sprays in his hair actually nowadays for pictures. And they Photoshop in a lot of hair on him. And there was recently a bit of a scandal where they Photoshopped in so much hair on him. It looks ridiculous that he actually asked them to take down the picture because people are making fun of it, how much hair they actually airbrushed in. Because he made a big deal out of making fun of his brother, who is also balding on top, losing his hair a bit. And he made fun of him in his book. He wrote his book, Spare, and it made fun of the fact that his brother was losing his hair. Then he turns around and loses all of his hair. So, yep, beware of who you ridicule. Karma comes and gets you. But it's erasing some of the dark pencil line around it. There. So, yeah, it's like lighter on top. In this picture, the hair is very light red on top, and then it sort of gets to be a darker brownish on the sides. I have to get another pencil too. I'm going to start off with this lighter rattlesnake color. Let me see if I zoom in a little bit more here. Maybe you can see a little better then. Yeah, I think you can see it a little better there. See the faces there. Okay, so back to the rattlesnake hair. That's a perfect name for the color of this particular individual's hair since it suits his personality. He's like a snake. He's a snake of the royal family here. We should have a Prince Harry snake. And they name things after all the royal families, so he should get his own rattlesnake named after him. Maybe he will one day. Him and his wife. So I'm just going to cover the whole thing with rattlesnake red here, the first layer. Just doing short little lines for the hair texture. I have no idea how this is going to come out. We're going to see. I'm not trying to make it too realistic. I just, close enough, sort of correcting it as I go along too. I think I made his head a little too big in the drawing, so I don't know. His head's very long here, so it goes back. Into the beard a little bit. I didn't put enough space there between. May have made his nose a little bit too big there. I don't know. Oh well. Always fix that later too. This picture was inspired by the Royal Grift's latest video where she talks about how Prince Harry had secret communications with Christopher Bouzy, who he had on his Netflix show. And Christopher Bouzy is thought to be a deep state actor. He supported Amber Heard. He worked for her, supporting her. Very dark, shady character who just follows whatever agenda the deep state seems to put him up to, possibly CIA and all that. Yeah, he's very prominent. He's on TV. He was on Netflix. He brags. He's sort of front man. This sort of a person, the clown, if you will, they put on TV to represent the censorship complex. Christopher Bouzy loves censorship. And that may be coming back to haunt him under the Trump administration, who will be investigating all the characters involved with censorship. And that includes Prince Harry and Christopher Bouzy, who may be both being investigated for their involvement in censoring Americans and others on Twitter and YouTube and other places. So it'll be interesting to see what the next 4 years bring. Hopefully it doesn't take 4 years, but justice is slow, isn't it, usually? We'll be keeping an eye out. He was exposed by Twitter for being a fraud. He claimed that he had some special algorithms that he could tell. Uh, Alleged he accused people of using bots when he, in fact, used bots himself. And he is responsible for harassing Princess Catherine quite a bit with the Sussex Squad. He's for some reason, this man has nothing else better to do than harass Princess Catherine, which is not something you normally see a grown man being involved in. But of course, again, he appears to be Christopher Bouzy. I'm not right now. I'm coloring in Prince Harry. So, but Prince Harry pays. Looks like at least works with Christopher Bouzy. I don't know if he pays him. He probably does. I think he pays the Sussex Squad. So now I'm looking for a skin color here for Prince Harry. I'm thinking of starting with peach color. So many tones you can go with here. Let me see. Find my peach. There we go. Got it. All right. Let's put a light layer of peach for Prince Harry. And I'll get back to his hair later. I'm just putting one layer on all over to sort of block in the colors. And I haven't decided what to put in the background. I don't know. Couldn't think what to put in the background. If you have any ideas, let me know. If anyone has any ideas, what I should put them standing in front of. Haven't decided that yet. Maybe a prison cell. Fantasies, I know. After all, what they did was against the law. censoring people, censoring Americans, balancing their freedom of speech. Christopher Bouzy is an American, and he's censoring Americans as well as others. Oops. Yeah, I like using this because if you take the putty and you sort of just tap on it, it's very easy to lighten the pencil. Now you can probably not seeing it. I can see it, but you're probably not seeing it on camera very well now. It probably looks like it's totally gone, but there's still a faint outline there. So it won't come out. It won't show so much in the final product. Final. Again, this is peach I'm using right now. Peach tone. And I want to lighten around the mouth area. I think I'm pretty happy with the sketch of his face. I guess as close as I'm going to get. It looks enough like him, I think. It's pretty easy to draw Prince Harry. You just draw an orange hair with orange beard, and you pretty much can't go wrong. You're going to have a picture that looks like him. Okay. Besides using rattlesnake, I think I'll use some chestnuts. Now I'm going to go back to the hair again. I like to go kind of back and forth. I don't just stick to one thing. We have the chestnut color. It's a slightly darker shade than the rattlesnake. So it's going to be in the bottoms here. It's a slighter, darker red. Reddish brown, anyways. The eyebrows are also the color there. I'm just getting the shape of the eye a little bit. Very lightly there. Okay, back to the hair. I was thinking about doing this with ink, with pens. Be interesting too. It's really dark in the back of the head here, so I need a darker brown back there. I think I may go with a mud color. Where's the mud? Oh, it's way up. Here we go. Get mud here. The very dark area back here. Also down here, mud's a very dark brown. The shaded areas here, a light layer up here. I may use some Gamsol or blender, sort of blend this all together, get rid of the white spaces. Um, yeah, go back to the rattlesnake a little bit. Back to the rattlesnake and I'll add a little more here. So alternating the rattlesnake and the chestnut in the mud. Or I'm using the chestnut now. They're just alternating these pencils. Some variety here. We have a little conspiratorial secret going on here. Harry's leaning in here. Sort of. They work together secretively. You know, the little secret missions here. The secret plans. Getting rid of some more pencil mark there. Yeah, so far so good. I think the hair, it could be a little darker or a little more colored in. Back to the rattlesnake. Sort of. So there we go. Not bad. Not so bad. All right, I'm thinking of doing the eyes, very dark blue eye. So I'm going to go with a very dark blue. Thinking the Starry Night blue I like. I'm always grabbing that blue. Whenever I think dark blue. Blue Moon is really dark as well. But I think A little too dark. I think I want to go. Not too. Let's put in the eye here. You can't really see his eye over here. The nose is blocking it. That's and back to the peach. The nose sort of comes out. Like that. I'm getting out the mud. I just want to do the right about here. Nostril. Just sort of mapping out where the nose. What about there? Back using the peach now. Yeah, another layer. I'm going to use some other skin tone layers in a bit. Um, the eye should be, let me see here. Yeah, the eye should be a little lower. I think I made the eye too high, so I'm going to just erase that a little bit. This eye is too high up. Using the Faber-Castell eraser, point eraser, I like this one. Works well. Actually, this should be right about here. Okay, so this eye should actually be here. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Then up here we have eyelid above that. Okay, that's better. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to do some other skin tones. I just had the peach. I want some shading, maybe a little darker, maybe eggshell. Right. Yeah, a lot of reddish tones on his um, skin tone as well. So, or pink, I should say. Some pinkness on his. Let me see. So I'm gonna go the peach with eggshell. If I can find it, here's eggshell. And also something a little pinky for his skin. He's got a pink tone there. Reddish, pinkish kind of like a fairy floss maybe, or a cyanide pink maybe. I think cyanide pink would work with him. That name just sounds right. Cyanide pink. Yeah, that works for her, for Harry. Fairy floss is a skin tone though. It's not from their skin tone color set. Black Widow has a skin tone color set. So we just want to do faces. Cyanide pink is not part of the skin tone set, so I'll go with fairy floss. Yeah, fairy floss is. I'll go with fairy floss. Yeah, it's considered a little bit more skin tone. So, all right. So I've got a sort of a. I'll start with the eggshell. The eggshell is sort of a little shaded areas here, so it's slightly darker around the eyes here. Nose. Actually, I should go. I got pressed too hard with the peach here. Be a little lighter. I'm gonna take some of the fairy floss and just lightly put in some of the pinker areas of the skin. Some pinkness there, and there's some reddish tones over here, pinker tones. And using the fairy floss for the lip. Again, the eye, I don't know if I should make it a little bit, maybe it's a little bit bigger. Then get out the chestnut, or this is a rattlesnake. Sort of reddish brownish lids above his eye there. Sort of pressing down a little harder here. And then the fairy floss kind of over here. May have been a little too dark there. Yeah, may have pressed down a little too hard there. Let me see. Erase that a little bit. eyelid there. Okay. Eyes are so small. I get this. If I'm drawing them too small, it can be too small in the picture. I don't know. Using peach, another layer of peach, sort of over the whole thing. Well, not an exact likeness, but I think with his hairline's a bit off. Let me see. Hmm. Hair to go down a little bit more here. And then right about here, one more berry floss there. The eyebrow a little off there. That's okay. Yeah, maybe I might have drawn his eyes a little too small. Too much space there in between them, I think. So I'm going to make this a little bigger here. Actually, I'm going to make this the whole eye. His eye just seems so small to me in the picture, but I'm going to make it a little bigger. Yeah, it's as close as to what he looks like that I'm going to get. The rattlesnake out. I think his beard needs to be a little higher up here. And yeah, one more thing. The point of his eye should be a little higher. Wrong. Be like from here to there. The other point. So it should be like that. Okay. Just tweaking things a little that look a little off to me. The side needs to be. I can erase that. Well, I can just go over it later with the background color, just sort of block that out. All right. I think that works. I'm using the eggshell again. I'm just going to put a little more in the inner ear here. And the fairy floss as well. Add some more layers back here. And in the ear. Hmm. Yeah, that looks better. His eye was the wrong shape before. It's threw me off. All right, so that's what I get so far with his face. Let's see one more thing. I need to fix his chin. Chin should be, no, his chin looks okay. It should be straight across like that. Yeah, that works. We got him. Now I'm debating whether or not to use some blender or not. Sort of blend it together or just leave it sort of like that. Let's leave it like that. Sometimes it looks good having some white spaces in there. It looks sketchy. I do kind of want that. Maybe just some pencil lines and everything. This doesn't want to come off this part right here. Will not erase. Yeah, I pressed too hard before. Maybe like a harder eraser or something. I don't think this is hard enough. It's not working. All right. No matter. Let me see. So he's wearing a light blue, very light blue shirt. That's sort of a color. I think it's similar to Picasso Sky. Oh, here it is. Oops. I use this pencil a lot too, this Picasso. Certain colors, you know how you always use certain colors all the time. This is Picasso Sky Blue. Just do a light shade of that on top. And he has sort of a wizard color, dark greenish bluish, or kind of a what it looks like a green aquamarine kind of color that I think looks like this color, a wizard. It's called a wizard. So this is the color I'm using for the sweater. Okay. I think we're pretty much done with the Harry part of it for now. Now we can move on to Mr. Bouzy. So I'd like to use some of the same colors just to have some harmony. So I think that I'm going to start with the mud brown for him. Mud's a good color for both of them. Their names are both Mud. Okay, so next, Bouzy, the infamous Christopher Bouzy, who brought censorship to America. Darkest 4 years ever, as Reverend Franklin Graham pointed out the inauguration. Thanks to people like Bouzy that made those 4 years of darkness so dark. And thank Christopher Bouzy, Prince Harry, for bringing in that darkness. I read that, I don't know if you watched the inauguration of Trump, but Reverend Franklin Graham spoke, and he always leads the prayer for all the presidents since Harry S. Truman, they said. And that they said he's never said anything negative about an outgoing president before. This was the first time he alluded to the negativity of the outgoing president's 4 years in office, calling them dark years, called the Biden years, very dark years at times. And then he said, or the Reverend said, look what happened, referring to Trump being elected, and said, praise God. And so that's the first time ever that he's an elderly man, and the first time he ever made a negative, or pointed out the negativity of how negative those 4 years of Biden were. And it's because of people like Christopher Bouzy and Prince Harry that made them so negative, these people that ran the negativity, their censorship, among other things going on, snake bites and everything else. Of course, that the censorship was about censoring a large part about the snake bites, right? But also just anything that Harry and Meghan didn't like. Very dark years indeed. It's like I'm gonna have to fix up this drawing I did of him. I think I may have, yeah. I think that, I mean, his hair is actually much darker than this. But I'm going to start with this mud color for his skin as well. The image I'm using for him is very darkly shaded on the side. It's like all black on one side. It's from the Netflix. It's from Harry and Meghan's Netflix show. This image, so the lighting of it was lit up, but only on one side, so half his face is black, really, and the other half, is where you can see the face, the skin tone a little bit. So I don't know how I'm going to make his face half black. That doesn't usually come out well with color pencil or so. I'll just use maybe some blue to make it a little darker. I kind of have to redraw his face a little bit because I think it was, I kind of redraw it now while I'm doing it. I'm going to redraw his face right now. He has they both look very sinister in these pictures. They both look up to no good. They just, if you're gonna make cast characters for a movie, these two really fit the typecasting of it, just with the way their faces look here and their expressions. Very unhappy, and spreading unhappiness and evil. Agents of evil, what I would call them. Both of these two. Their work together is evil. It's just, but sometimes it's interesting to all the bad guys, right? To warn people, look out for these two, stay away from these two. Don't believe anything they come out with because, like I said, Christopher Bouzy supported Amber Heard too, another psychopath. So he basically supports all the psychopaths. Seems to be his job description. Yeah, really shady stuff. They like hurting people, I guess, because they're psychopaths themselves. I don't know. As if people weren't suffering enough during COVID, right? They want to compound that, make it worse. I mean, really, a grown man attacking a British princess doesn't make any sense unless he's working for Harry. Grown man tweeting on Twitter complaining about a Princess Catherine in Britain. An American man. He's an American man. It's just ludicrous. I mean, it's just such buffoonery. But I guess Prince Harry pays well, so how it goes. Prince Harry, money talks, right? Money talks. But criminals don't walk, especially with the investigation going on right now. So what happens with this president and his team is going to be investigating all of these censorship people, including Harry and Christopher Bouzy. So they may be looking at more legal issue problems. Both of them have spent a fair amount of time in court. They may be looking at more time in court. Now, Prince Harry doesn't have to worry because he's son of a king, so and he probably has diplomatic immunity. He's not worried about going to prison, but other people around him that he hired should worry. Prince Harry is certainly not going to protect them, I would guess. All right, so there's Boozy's face so far. I think I'll use the chestnuts that I used on Harry. Again, to have some harmony here, sort of using the same colors. But I'm not going for realism or anything here. I'm just want to quickly draw a sketch of them that, not perfectly realistic, but looks like them, or at least close enough to them that you'd recognize them a little, hopefully. It's pretty similar to them, right? I just grasping their. Okay, now I'm going to the Starry Night blue that I used for Harry's eye. I'm going to put that on top of the mud brown for his dark hair, and the blue will make everything darker. The blue and brown always makes a dark gray or even a black if you add enough layers. He has the eyes of a murderer, this guy. They say in face reading, the three-sided on the eyes, the bottom of the eyes don't touch the bottom. It's very negative looking. Looks very criminal. So after I put the blue on, now it's a blue tint. Now I go back over it with the mud or the chestnut. Yeah, I'll go over it with the mud. The mud is the darker brown I have, so this should make see how much darker that looks now. I don't know if you can. Much closer to a dark brown or black here with the blue added, the mud brown. Yeah, Harry's hair is still looking a little light as well. Could add some more mud brown here onto his hair as well. What's under his chin should be a little. Again, this is the same mud brown I'm using on both. Two peas in a pod here. Again, it's not exactly like Bouzy's snarly face. It looks like he's snarling. But it's pretty close. I think it's got the essence of him here. So he actually got on the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary. Yeah, Christopher Bouzy talked about these middle-aged white women on YouTube and how horrible it is to have these middle-aged white women on YouTube. How dare they speak their minds on YouTube? Who do they think they are? They should just be at home cooking in the kitchen or something. He didn't say that, but that's the message you get. This is the chestnut again, sort of a more reddish brown. I'm putting another light layer of that over face here. And I've got the pink floss, the fairy floss, like I used on Harry's face. I put it on the bottom lip. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the mud color to get the shading under the nose here. Yeah, so Christopher Bouzy complained about these middle-aged white women on YouTube who dared to share their opinions about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Apparently, if you had any complaints about being censored via censorship complex that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle supported with Renee DiResta and all the rest of them, Centers for Countering Tristan Harris and Centers for Countering Digital Hate. If any of these middle-aged white women dared to complain that they didn't like being censored, they didn't like that censorship, because Christopher Bouzy would take down YouTube channels. He'd complain to YouTube, have them removed. He'd mass report them with his group of trolls that he worked with called the Sussex Squad. Yeah. And he didn't think those middle-aged white women had the right to have an opinion on anything that he didn't agree with. Well, he was paid not to agree with it. Obviously, Harry and Meghan paid him to take down accounts. But he complained about these women. How dare they speak their minds on YouTube? Who do they think they are? Having their own thoughts. Harry and Meghan would tell them what to think, right? That was the gist of it. You were to only worship Harry and Meghan as perfect and wonderful. And if you didn't think they were perfect and wonderful and you didn't like them, then Christopher Bouzy and his Sussex Squad will take you down your account, get you demonetized. He harassed some people online. I heard that there's one woman called Avid Gardner. I heard her home was broken into by Sussex Squad. That's related to Christopher Bouzy here, and we were talking serious criminal activity that apparently Christopher Bouzy, I can't prove it, it's allegedly, but allegedly Christopher Bouzy and his Sussex Squad have been involved with breaking into people's homes, doxing them, harassing them. And Fiona Gardner had her home broken into, and she was her daughter was harassed online by the Sussex Squad that Christopher Bouzy works with. So really shady criminal terroristic behavior, the terrorists basically to these people, and it's all at because Prince Harry was funding this. So Prince Harry is funding it, and Christopher Bouzy and his friends are committing the harassments allegedly. I have to say allegedly, or they'll come after whoever talks about them. When you're dealing with terrorists, terrorist activities. Yeah. That's how it goes nowadays. All because someone just didn't like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry and dared to say that on YouTube or Twitter. Yeah. All right. So pretty much got his face there. I think it's close enough. And I think, his shirt is white, but I'm going to make his shirt also a starry blue. This is the starry blue color, Picasso sky color. I'm just going to make his shirt a blue color like Prince Harry because him and Prince Harry, I'm going to say they dress alike as well since they work together here. We'll say they wear the same color shirt. Why not? Sure, they so close. And he's wearing a gray suit, but I think I'll make his suit. We'll make his suit a starry blue color, the same color I used earlier. We'll make this for his suit. So we'll give him a blue. He's wearing a gray suit here, but I feel like using a blue color instead. So I've been doing this a little over an hour now. So I finished this in an hour. Not bad. I'm not done yet, but still can't decide what to put in the background, if anything. Maybe I'll put a YouTube symbol in the background. Well, that would be a good idea, right? Because they're always working together on deplatforming people from YouTube, right? And maybe I'll just do that. And his tie will be, what color should I make it? I'll make his tie the rattlesnake color. Same as Harry's hair. First, I gotta finish coloring his neck there. Make it his neck. And see right here, there's a little space here. We gotta fill that in here. There. Okay, that's good. All right, good enough. So Christopher Boozy's tie will be the rattlesnake color. Same color, similar enough to what he's wearing in the picture. And the same color as hairball, Prince Harry's hair. Again, just to have some harmony in the picture. Don't want to use too many colors, right? I think it's a little bit too much. Yeah, this didn't take as long as I thought it would. Put another layer of blue, starry blue here. So I think I pretty much got the gist of it so far. I'm probably gonna tweak it a little more, but that's that's pretty much it. So just the first layer of it, and yeah, I'll probably work on it a little bit more and fill in a background. What I'm gonna do? Should I put the? Let me get a red, and we'll just put in the YouTube symbol in the background. Let me pull up a YouTube. I should have it memorized by now, right? What red to use for YouTube logo here. I'll just use the usual red with the whites. What red to use? Bloodshot red, deep red. I think deep red. Looks like the right color. Yeah, so we use deep red. So we'll put around Christopher Bouzy and Harry's head here. That should be like rounded here. And then in the middle of that, YouTube should be like that. There's the button there in the middle. It might be a little small. That should work. Then I'll just quickly fill in the backgrounds here. So this will be my backgrounds, or their background. I'm using the deep red. Yeah, there you have it. It says one layer. Yeah, put a few more layers on this to make it a really a much darker. His forehead kind of goes out. Move in there, around like that. We have made his forehead too big. Yeah, I'm always making the forehead too big on my faces, I've noticed. I don't know why I do that. Like, bring that in a little bit there. Let me get the rattlesnake here. I think I gotta make his forehead a little bit smaller. Yeah, it should be a little bit lower here, his hairline. I get that mud color again. Darken that in here. Yeah, okay, that's a little bit closer, I think. That sort of goes like that. So my hair comes out there. I'm pressing harder now with the pencil. Yeah, that's a little bit more the size, I think. Okay, back to the deeper red here. Let me finish the second layer here. So there we have so far for Prince Harry and Christopher Bouzy. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.